This is Of Malice and Mirth.
Mwahaha.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Happy Sunday Fun Day.
Sunday Fun Day.
I'm Whitney,
And I'm Mena.
and this is Of Malice and Mirth.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am. Welcome back. Thanks for coming.
If you stuck around this long, we're on episode
5 single. That's exciting.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, y'all.
Yeah. And thanks for everyone who's been rating us and reviewing us and following us.
Subscribing.
All the things. We feel the love and we really appreciate it.
Yes, we appreciate it so much.
But also on that note, if you haven't yet, please follow us and subscribe and shit.
Because that would be awesome too.
We love you. And also, we are still looking for story submissions from y'all. We've had a few people email us and a few people Reddit us and stuff. So we have some coming in, but we're still always looking for like creepy encounters, especially ones that have happened to you. We love our creepypastas.
Yes.
But we also would love to hear some of your spooky stories.
Or even stories where you think it's spooky and it turns out to not be anything spooky at all, because those are the bestest too.
That works too. Oh my God, on that line. I totally forgot to text you about this the other day. But I was sitting, I had just put the baby down to sleep, and I was sitting on the couch fine-a-fucking-ly, and the house was quiet.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And then I heard the trash can, which has a like an automatic lid open. Yeah. And I heard it go up, down.
No.
Up, down. And I was like, what the fuck? And I just sat there listening to it, and I kept doing it over and over. I was like, is the ghost fucking with the trash can? So I finally got up to go look. No, there was just a piece of paper like sticking out, like a paper towel sticking out. Yeah. And so it was going over the sensor over and over again.
And by the way, when you listen back to this, I tried to say automatic and lid together,
So
and it came out lick.
Oh, but all that to say, if we could get your stories emailed to ofmaliceandmirth@gmail.com.
Oh my God, you did it!
I did it on my first try. It only took 5 episodes.
Hey, you got it.
Or if you want to even just message them to like the TikTok or the Instagram or Facebook page, or we'll take them there too. Why not?
Or if you have any haunted places you want us to look into, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we got one of those today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you want to get into it?
Yeah,
you can go first with your. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to preface this with it was really hard to find like actual articles. I did find a couple. They'll be in the show notes so you can go visit, because this is a real place. I'm here in Texas, and it is called the Jefferson Hotel, or also known as the Jefferson Palace Hotel.
Oh,
so I've seen it both ways.
Palace.
All right. So before we speak any more of the shadows that linger in the hallways today, we have to look at the bones of the building on West Austin Street.
Okay.
Built in 1851 by Alan Urquhart. You want to know what I thought of when I read that?
What? Because I was like, your face is saying something.
Shout out to our morbid besties, Elena Urquhart.
Oh, it's the same last name?
Yeah.
No way.
For real. Like I
did not even put 2 and 2 together when you just said that.
I got so giddy when I saw that. I was like, oh my goodness.
Weird.
Yes. So love y'all, by the way.
Yes, love you.
All right. So this wasn't a place for rest. It was a nexus point of the industry. Built as a cotton warehouse, its massive timbers held the weight of Jefferson's booming river trade. Back then, the Big Cypress Bayou was crucial for sustaining early Texas trade. And this warehouse was a vital stop for steamboats destined for Shreveport and New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
So, way back when, hustle and bustle. But as the railroad moved in, trade by river eventually receded and the city's fortunes shifted. By the late 19th century, the warehouse took on more of an intimate kind of commerce. It was
Oh,
converted into a brothel where the good time girls would stand on the second floor veranda to beckon weary travelers from the streets below.
dude, I swear every old building has been a brothel.
Like when I think of like New Orleans, especially because
Mhm.
like when they do like period pieces like that, when they describe things like this, that's what I envision.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
like the French Quarter.
Mhm. So, it was a time of silk and scandals where the rough industrial floorboards were hidden beneath rugs and secrets were the primary currency.
Oh,
Mm-mm. All right. Then came the Prohibition era of the noble experiment, which I had to Google because I didn't know that phrase, but
the
that
Noble
the
Experiment.
noble experiment. Did you hear
N-
about?
no.
Okay, so it's basically that's the reference to the prohibition, like taken.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So I was like, oh,
I
that's
never heard that.
yeah. I was like, that's a weird way of putting that, but okay, I get it. While the law said that the town was dry, the Jefferson Hotel was anything but. It was reborn as the Crystal Palace, a premier speakeasy and gambling hall. Behind the closed doors, the ballroom became a den of ragtime piano and bootleg gin.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's a place to be.
yeah. Where high rollers danced the night away in defiance of the law. It's this messy, vibrant history from labor to lust to law breaking that set the stage for the spirits we're about to meet. All right, so let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you book a hotel? Is it the nice bathrooms, the comfy beds, the on site gym?
The cheapest one you can get that doesn't have bullet holes in the door.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what would be your ideal hotel?
um, probably a good. No, no. This is one of my criteria. Actually, I typically will not book if there's not a hot tub.
Makes sense. Gotta be comfy.
Yeah, gotta have a hot tub.
Relax.
It doesn't have to be like an in the room or a jacuzzi because actually I don't really want to be
Yeah.
in someone else's jacuzzi mixture
Mm-mm.
without the chemicals and shit.
Human soup.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I want like at the pool, I want to be able to get out of the cold water and get into that hot tub and
Nice.
sizzle.
Okay. So imagine checking into a hotel where the staff warns you to not be surprised if your bags move on their own,
Oh, good.
right? You walk down a narrow, dim hallway in the building that stood since 1851. You lock your door, turn off the light, and just as you drift off, you hear the distinct sound of a child laughing under your
No,
bed.
no.
Welcome to the Jefferson Hotel. So this brings us to the reports of the mill children. So I heard like I didn't when I say I heard, I read about this two different ways. So basically it's
Sorry. Are you okay? That looked fucking painful. Oh my god. Did it knock out a tooth? Fuck. Jesus.
okay, I need to pause.
We are calm now.
Thanks for bearing with us with that because I just had to go check to make sure I had all my teeth. We're good. We're composed.
She smacked the shit out of her mouth with her mic.
I
That's
never
what that popping like champagne noise
I
was.
never claimed to be graceful. Never.
Oh,
All right.
but okay, continue.
All right. So I'm going to backtrack a second. So we were talking about the two different versions of
The
the
mill
mill children.
children. Yeah.
Okay. So it is said that it's either a boy and a girl or two boys. So those are the two versions, but the rest of the story is pretty much the same. That they're dressed in old fashioned clothing. They roam the hallway doing what children do best, like laughing, playing,
Okay.
being silly. And like they either like play with the lights
No.
or they might play a prank and like take something like something small.
Okay. Like
Um
little fucking elves.
yeah, pretty much. So that's the whole gist of like the mill children as far as I can tell. Or they're
Okay. So they're a little
spirits.
mischievous.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just like to have fun. They're having a good old time, spooking everybody out.
All right. Yeah,
So,
no, I wouldn't love that though.
I
It's
mean,
like The
I kind of want
Shining.
to get your opinion on what room you would stay in, or like which
Oh,
ghost
come
you
at
would
me. I will
prefer.
tell you. Keep
Okay,
going.
okay. So now we have the Vanishing
Already know.
Man. So, what would you do if you woke up in the middle of the night to find a tall man in a long coat and tall boots watching you? Not doing anything, just being there.
I would just die.
Then he gets up and walks right through the door.
No, I would just die. Like
So,
heart attack right there.
yeah, so like there's not a whole lot of history on the Vanishing Man and like
Where he comes from.
where he came from, who he is, like
Mhm.
how he came to be there. But he is said to be like one of the most prominent solid apparitions in the hotel.
Oh,
Like
the fact that you have to clarify solid.
yeah, and like although he's not overly menacing, he's just like his persistence is unsettling. Like he's known to walk the hallways, making the guests think that he's just another guest walking down the
Well,
hallway.
he could be any man,
Yeah,
and everyone would be afraid because it's a man walking down the hallway or into your bedroom at night.
true.
So,
But like what would it be like if it's just like you're not in your room, you're walking down the hall and you see someone and then all of a sudden he just walks through a closed door because that's what he's known
mm,
to do.
yeah, no, I would just play dead.
Yeah, I literally put in there and I was like, and at that point is when I say, nope,
Yep, that is a
absolutely
nope.
not. All right, so that is a little gist of the Vanishing Man. So he's,
Okay,
from what I can tell, is not in like one single room. He's kind of like all over the place.
okay.
Yeah. So now, what would you do if you found yourself in the shower and then all of a sudden you don't feel like you're alone anymore?
Just die again. I don't know, man.
And then only to find like there's a written message like in the steam of the mirror.
No, there's not.
And it's not a long message. It just says Judy.
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 What the fuck? What is that even? Why? Like Judge Judy?
Girl.
Girl.
All
Huh.
right. So, room 19 has a bevy of reports of messages appearing in the steamed up mirror of the bathroom, including the name Judy. It is said that it is the spirit of a young woman thought to be a lady of the evening,
Mhm.
who was murdered by a patron and left in her bathroom to perish.
Oh.
So we're left to wonder with her, like, is it an act of desperation? Is it an eerie hello or a sign of impending danger? Is it a warning?
Well,
Like, you don't know.
yeah.
So,
Maybe the person who killed her was named Judy.
oh, see, I didn't see that, like, train of thought in, like, things that I read.
Oh.
So, I,
Well.
not that I like that.
Not that that's a good thing.
That's just the true crime side of my brain coming out.
Right.
Because, girl, I'd be
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, that's what that was my first thought. Obviously weird, but whatevs.
All right. So we all know that objects can be haunted as well as locations,
Mhm.
right? So this brings us to Libby and White. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds kind of eerie.
Yeah.
Makes me kind of spooky.
Makes me kind of spooky.
She's a young woman in a white bridal gown with golden hair that floats throughout the property. Though she's seen in
Wait, the hair floats or the girl
she
floats?
floats.
Oh, okay.
Like she
Okay.
floats.
I was trying to adjust my picture in my head.
Like,
Like who?
ooh.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. So, though she's seen in various places, she seems to be tethered to one specific bed that has been moved to multiple rooms, including 12, 14, and 19.
Oh, okay. So she moves with the bed. Okay.
Right. So, she is thought to be one of two women who, trigger warning for anybody, who was thought to have hung themselves after being
Mm.
left at the altar using the notably tall
Um.
headboard of this bed.
Oh.
Yeah, and these two happenings happened 50 years apart.
And they still have that bed.
And they move it
Good
around.
choices.
So yeah, that's
Oh, that's
that's her
sad.
story. But then I'm like, okay, I was like, you moved Libby and White into Judy's room.
So it's just a smorgasbord because you know that guy's coming in. The
Oh,
tall
I wonder if
vanishing
that's the
man.
party room. Not to be
That's
like
the party
insensitive,
room then.
not to be insensitive to like,
But for ghost hunters,
yeah,
good to know that what room is it then?
19.
19.
Yeah, I don't know if they've moved the bed since then, but from the articles that I
Hmm.
read, it's been in those 3 rooms.
Okay, well, then I have my answer for you. I would like to be in Big Booty Judy's room, 19.
Okay.
Because I want to be where the party's at.
Oh, I wonder what kind of music they'd play because it doesn't
Taylor
really.
Swift. Duh.
Okay. Well, okay. Question then. Which Taylor
Which
Swift song?
era?
Yes.
Oh, now you're asking my kind of questions. Let's see. I have to give this some actual thought. So hold on. Reputation.
Okay.
Because
Don't hate me, but I'm not a Swiftie.
I know, and that breaks my heart. Reputation is like her. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into it because there's probably other
What's
people
the
who are
most?
like, I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift.
What is the most known song? Easy.
Look what you made me do.
Oh, okay, okay. I know that
Like
song.
that one, and Are You Ready for It? Duh, duh, duh. It has like a bunch of like, it's like her. She was coming back. She's coming back strong
Okay.
after some time off,
Okay,
and
okay.
like her
It was her comeback album.
yeah, like her like,
Reintroduction.
but like, you're not gonna stab me in my back again because I'm tough now.
Ah, okay, got it.
Okay. Anyways, but that would be
Okay,
Libby's
so
song choice or record choice.
okay, so that's like I'm dating myself. That's like Christina Aguilera's Dirty album.
Yes.
Okay, got it. I
Yes.
understand now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. But I don't know where we were going with this.
Okay, so back to the so sorry. So these are all the more well-known beings that roam the halls of this hotel to keep you company while you rest your head.
Or party it up.
Hey, get down with it. If you dare to know more of these ghostly goings on in the spectral suites, the hotel allegedly has a quote unquote book of the dead.
Oh.
And this is where guests can transcribe their experiences. And it's kind of like a
So it's like
logbook.
a B&B guest book, but
Yeah.
like cool.
Yeah, and in the article that I had read, like they say that this place has a book like that, but then there's another haunted hotel, I think down the street. It's called like the Elix. I didn't write it down.
Oh, okay.
It starts with an
Elixir or
E. Yeah,
something.
something like that. That also is supposed to have a book like that. So I don't know, maybe they
Oh,
both
okay.
do or just one or the other, but from a couple of articles I read, this hotel has one.
I would love to read those. Like to read what people said about staying there.
True.
That'd be fun.
Be spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. On another note, the hotel is also known to have themed rooms.
Ooh.
So that you can book whether it's the Miratorium, so it's a room filled with antique mirrors.
No. Are you fucking kidding me? How many portals are they trying to open in one room?
I'm like, have they listened to any of our episodes? Because
I
each
know.
episode has a mirror in it.
That's true.
So the Miratorium is room 6.
Okay.
Then you have the oddities room, which has like strange knickknacks that range from like whimsical to the macabre.
Ooh. I
And
like that one.
of course you would because that's room 19.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. That's my room, bro.
That's your room.
Oh my god. I'm excited. I want to go.
I love that for you.
I do too.
All right. Then we have the Magic Showcase, which is room 7. This one is known to have like clown decor.
No.
Absolutely
No,
not.
we need to stick Zach in that room though. My husband's terrified of clowns.
But that room is known to be happier than Libby's room.
Oh, okay.
So, give or take. And then you have the dolls and stuff room, which is filled with antique dolls, and it is room 14.
That, okay, so I have some dolls. I have like porcelain dolls like that my mom and grandma and great grandma like passed down. So they're in a trunk.
No, that makes it worse.
Maybe that's why we have ghosts. They're in a trunk down in my mom's room and then mine are in storage, which I guess I should have put more respect on their name and brought them with us to the house, to the
Yeah.
temporary house. But no, I don't know. Mine don't freak me out. But when I'm at someone else's house, I will admit that sometimes their dolls give me the heebie-jeebies, and I'm like, I don't like it.
Valid.
Yeah.
Very valid. So, my next question was, which room will you be staying in? But I
Well,
mean, we've
that's
already
yeah,
decided.
my soul room, room 19.
There we go. All right. So, since we touched on the doll and stuff room, we did have a listener submission. He did say I could say his name, and he said it in the email and stuff. So I'm just gonna like go over and read what he
Read his
said.
experience.
Yeah. So this is a real experience that Adam has had. All right. So it starts off with, my name is Adam, and I'm a part of a team named Southern Fried Spirits Paranormal. So they go around and go on paranormal investigations to different places, mainly here in Texas.
Nice.
So one
I would
of,
love to. I'm
oh,
sorry.
it's okay.
I would love to. We should do that one of these days, and maybe we'll record some video snippets of things.
I really want to go to the Emily Hotel.
I would love to. Let's do that, but also let's see if one of these, like maybe him, we
Mhm.
can email him back or something and see if we could just kind of stand in the background and watch as they do their paranormal investigation,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I promise I won't get in your way.
I
Like,
just want to watch.
I just want to watch. Sorry,
So
back to his
it's okay.
email.
Yeah. So one of our favorite places to investigate is a place called the Jefferson Hotel in Jefferson, Texas. Dun, dun,
Dun dun
dun.
dun.
One thing about that hotel is that many of the rooms have a theme. See, told ya.
Mhm.
And one trip he was on, he was staying in the doll room. There's all sorts of different kinds of dolls in the room and a small amount in the bathroom,
No.
which I did not know when I was
Mm.
researching.
To watch you poop.
So he said that, you once you've done all your stuff, you wind down, you take a bath, He said he was getting ready. He noticed that there was a doll wedged in the towel rack by the bathtub.
Mhm.
He got in the bathtub and he was doing his thing, and then he heard like a thump behind him while he was in the
Mm-mm.
bathtub, and he turned around and looked to notice that the doll that was wedged in the towel rack to its waist was now like hanging halfway dangling out of the towel rack as if something had like tried to pull it out from being wedged in there. So he said he
It's
noticed.
trying to drown you.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying.
So he said he noticed it, took note, and finished his bath, which, by the way, valid. Valid.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because I'd be like, nope.
Yeah, no, I would have been out of there because I would have thought that the thing was going to drown me.
Yeah. So that was his story, and I really appreciate
Thank
him
you,
and
Adam.
thank him for sharing his experience with us.
Yeah, and for having us look into the Jefferson Hotel.
Yeah.
That was a trip. That was awesome.
Yay!
Yay!
Research done.
All right. Well, next we have a couple stories for y'all. And this first one that I'm going to read is one from Reddit user Donovan221. It's Donavan 221. And it is called The Inheritance.
Okay.
Yes. Starts out strong.
Oh.
Well, my parents died.
Oh.
Happens to all of us, I suppose, if you're lucky. They were old too, so I'm not too torn up about it. I know, it kind of starts out morbid. They lived happy lives together and died a mere 3 hours apart from one another.
Oh, broken hearts.
Yeah. Still, though, losing both parents in the same day, it's always going to hurt. Those final goodbyes, the ones where you know that this is it, yeah, that's the hardest part. It makes all the memories come rushing back, forces your brain to run through every moment that it could recall being with that person. Feeling Mom's leathery, wrinkled hand wrapped so tightly around mine as she looked up at me with her old, beautiful brown eyes, I couldn't help but be brought back to childhood. She and Dad would walk side by side with me in the middle, and they'd take each of my hands into one of theirs. I'll never forget the joy I'd feel when they'd swing me back and forth as we walked. I just felt so warm and at peace. I'd never had any siblings. I guess they just decided that one was enough. I can't say that affected me much, though. I mean, if anything, it meant more attention for me. Didn't have to share a room, didn't have to share a Christmas, and my birthday always felt like the most important day of the year. Your face.
Side note,
Mm-hmm.
he is speaking to my soul
Oh,
because of my son. So I'm like,
yeah. I just looked up and she was looking at me like I kicked her puppy.
okay, I got you. I got you the other week. Now you're getting me back.
Yeah, that's true. As I recollected, I could feel my mother's grip on my hand soften and her eyes began to flutter. What followed was the monotonous beep of a heart monitor, then silence broken only by nurses doing their jobs. Mom was gone and Dad was fading quickly behind her. Literal soulmates. Seeing Dad in the state that he was in triggered more of those childhood memories, and my face became drenched in tears as I held his hand tightly. As the hours passed, eventually it seemed as though he wanted to speak, but what came out was merely a gasping wheeze that looked like it physically pained him. He looked quietly devastated at my tears, and I assumed he just wanted to reassure that everything would be all right. He lifted a weak finger towards a shelf at the far end of his room. The shelf? I asked in a quaking voice with a smile. He shook his head yes, and I walked over to the shelf. All that was there was a clipboard clamping down some of the printer paper, as well as a pen that sat beside it. I picked it up, and Dad began to try and speak again, urging me to bring him the clipboard. I kind of cocked an eyebrow at this, but this was a man in his dying moments. I'm not going to tell my dad no, especially not now. With shaking hands, he began to write. It was heartbreaking seeing the pen tremble in his grasp as he struggled to write a single sentence. Slowly but surely, the words were etched onto the page. Take care. Suddenly, my dad stopped. His face winced and curled into a pained expression as his heart monitor began to beep rapidly. Dad, no, I begged. Please, you can't leave me just yet, Dad. I'm begging you. Please, God, not yet. His eyes rolled over to meet mine, and a single tear crawled down the right side of his face as the heart monitor stretched out its final beep and the nurses filled the room once again. And that was that. Mom was gone, Dad was gone. Yet here I was, still alive and forced to endure. I took Dad's paper. I saw it as his final goodbye. Take care, Donovan. That had to have been what he was trying to say. Everything will be okay, his voice called out in my head. Leaving the hospice room felt like my shoes were cinder blocks. The walk to the exit seemed to take an eternity. I got in my car feeling empty, a void in my soul that couldn't be filled again. But alas, life must go on. I had funerals to arrange. There was a bit of shining light in the darkness, though, and that shining light came in the shape of my inheritance. It feels wrong now that I'm thinking about it, finding consolation in getting money because my parents died, but they left it to me, it was mine. Over the course of their lives, my parents had purchased 3 properties, one here in town, a lake house a few cities over, and a 2-story townhouse back in their home state. At least I thought it was 3. Apparently, they had also owned a cabin up in the mountains about 50 or so miles out of town. Nice.
Great.
Damn. They left each property to me, and from the very moment I found out, I made a quick decision that I was going to be definitely moving into that lake house for a permanent residence. What? I deserved it. My parents died. Anyway, I'd never even heard them mention a cabin once in my entire life. Dad would take monthly hunting trips out to that area, though, so I guess that's where it came from. It took me a few weeks to get out there and take a look at the place, what with all the funeral arrangements and time it takes to want to even leave your bed after the death of a loved one, but I got out there nevertheless. Let me just say the place was absolutely decrepit. I knew it'd been a while since my dad had gone hunting, but this place looked like it hadn't been touched in years. It was completely desolate, and vegetation had covered the entire front side of the cabin. The boards at the back looked like they were set to collapse at any given moment. A rickety porch swing lay on the front porch, suspended on one side by the chain that hadn't snapped yet. Pushing the door open, what hit me first was the smell.
Mm.
That sickly sweet smell of death that you'd find radiating off a decaying deer carcass on the side of the road.
Ooh.
It ran through the front door and sucker punched me in the face, completely unexpectedly. Covering 90% of my face with my shirt, the next thing I noticed that knocked the wind out of me were the toys. Dozens
Oh,
of toys that were very clearly made for little boys no older than toddler age. So this is where Dad brought you, I thought aloud as I noticed one of my favorite teddy bears from when I was a kid. I searched for months for you, little Huckleberry. What I noticed next is what made me realize that something was incredibly wrong. Aside from my little Huckleberry, I didn't recognize any of these toys. I have a pretty strong memory. I think I'd remember at least some of this stuff, but no, I didn't recognize the clothes either. None of these 10 or so outfits that, by this point, had been tattered and weathered to shreds. They all just lay randomly sprawled across the floor of the cabin, covered in dirt and grime. As I explored further into the cabin, the smell of rot became more and more present until finally I found its source. In a huge pile in the corner of the kitchen area were dozens of rodent carcasses.
ew.
Ugh. Possums, squirrels, raccoons, they all looked like they'd been completely mutilated. I stared at the disgusting pile until something hit me like a freight train. The possum at the very top of this pile, it looked fresh.
No.
Blood still trickled from what looked like a bite mark on its neck, and its feet twitched.
Oh.
All at once, the smell and gore became too much, and I began to get dizzy. I leaned over the sink and started puking my guts up, shivering from the force.
Same.
In between my heaves, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, and that possum pretty much confirmed it for me. I felt my senses heighten in that raw, primal way, the kind of primal that helps a gazelle escape the crushing force of a crocodile bite before it can even happen. My ears perked up at the slightest foreign sound, and that sound just so happened to be the creaking of the wooden floors in the cabin.
Mm-mm.
Ever so slowly, I turned to where the sound was coming from. Peeking its head in the doorway, staring at me with this disgusting, childlike grin, was something I could barely classify as human. Its limbs were elongated, and blood dripped rhythmically from its mouth and rotting teeth. It had the body of a human, but something was just so wrong. Its stomach looked like it threatened to touch its spine, and it moved in jerky, erratic motions as it inched closer to me.
Ugh.
When it was about 3 or so feet away from me, it stuck its hands out and smiled wider, causing me to fall backwards onto the mountain of dead animals. The thing didn't stop and continued inching towards me, arms outstretched as if it were slowly attempting to grab me. It was now less than a foot away from me as I cowered, terrified, against the kitchen wall. It was so close that I could feel its hot, disgusting breath blanketing my entire face with each breath. Suddenly, without warning, the thing reached down violently and grabbed each of my hands. It didn't hurt me, though. Instead, it just held my hands, stroking them gently. That's when I noticed something that made every puzzle piece fall into place. When it looked at me, it wasn't with malice. It looked at me with the eyes that were painstakingly human. It looked at me with the same eyes that I had seen on my mother as I held her hand in her last moments. Just as every detail began to register in my mind, the thing started to speak in a broken, inhuman voice. You take care of me.
Ugh.
Your face. I want a part two. Don't you want a part two?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that intense?
Yes. Okay, first off, Donovan.
Donovan 221, I
Yes.
think. Let me check real quick. Yes, Donovan, Donavan 221.
You have me all up in my feels.
Right? That first part, I didn't know if I could make it through. But I held strong.
You did. You did a really good job as I'm
Thank
over
you.
here with like puppy dog eyes looking
I
at
know.
you like, oh my
I
goodness.
know, and I'm like trying not to look at you. No, that was a really, really great, well-written story, dude.
Yes, took me on a roller coaster. I
Mhm.
loved it.
Yes. So next we have but real quick though, Donovan 221, if you are listening, please do write a part two because that would make my soul soar.
Yes, I would very much like a part two.
Yes, please. So now it's your turn.
My turn. All right, so this is a story from Shane 1, and it is called Peripheral. Oh, I did it good that time.
You did. That's a hard word to say, man.
It is. Okay. It started on a Tuesday, I think. At least that's when I noticed it for the first time, just 3 days after I buried my dad. There's a
Oh my
theme.
God, there's a theme.
Okay. Just a flicker, a shape. At the edge of my vision, always just beyond clarity, like something seen through thick glass. A person, so I thought, standing still in the distance whenever I looked out my apartment window.
Mm.
But every time I turned to focus, there was nothing, just wind and skyline. By Thursday, the shape showed up more often on sidewalks, in alleys, reflected in mirrors, a still figure standing far back, arms by its side, like a shadow stitched into the horizon of my awareness.
Mm.
I told myself it was stress from my father's passing, lack of sleep from grief, maybe too much caffeine. But by Sunday, it wasn't just out there anymore. I began catching glimpses of it indoors, in the reflection of my office window, in the blurred corners
Mm.
of a bus station ads. Always there, always watching, never moving closer when I looked straight at it. But in the corner of my eye, it was. It was closer.
Mm-mm.
I went for an eye test. The ophthalmologist found nothing. 20/20 vision, no retinal damage. That's not good. Well, you know what I mean. Then came the neurologist. Brain scan, routine psych evaluations, could be migraines, hallucinations caused by stress, visual aura effects, they said, which that's a valid route to take,
That is.
but the thing kept getting closer. By the next week, it was just across the street when I turned my head and almost caught it. Close enough to make out the texture of the figure's coat, a man, maybe, or something in the shape of one. And then one night, laying in my bed with the streetlight carving shapes on my ceiling, I saw it again, by my bedroom door. This time, it moved.
No.
It stepped forward. I slammed the light on, heart hammering. The room was empty, but the smell lingered. Cigarettes and cinnamon gum.
Fucking cinnamon.
Always with the cinnamon, and it's my favorite. The next day, I checked myself into a mental health facility. Voluntary evaluation. I needed answers, sanity, peace.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. The therapist listened, took notes, prescribed rest and observation. It didn't help. I kept seeing it, standing by the tree line beyond the courtyard in the reflection of the trolley as the nurse wheeled away my tray, at the edge of every moment. By now, I could see its face, or lack thereof, just a blur. Until one day the man stepped closer than ever, right up to me within arm's reach.
Mm.
His presence was suffocating. The scent was stronger now, cigarettes, cinnamon gum. He raised a hand, pointed. Not a threat, a direction, like a compass or a command. I left the facility that night and followed where he pointed. Highways turned into dirt
They
roads,
just let you go.
right?
Bye.
Civilization fell behind me. After nearly a day of driving, surrounded by silence and pine trees, I saw it, a crumbling house. Familiar, and yet alien. The wood was gray with rot, paint curled like dead skin, windows broken, the front door hung on rusted hinges. He stepped inside. I followed.
That's smart.
The air was thick with dust and rot and memory. He led me through, past the kitchen, and down the hall to the room. A child's room. The wallpaper still had cartoon characters faded by decades. He walked to the center of the room and pointed at the floor. A bloodstain. I stood frozen, and then it all came back. When I was 9, my best friend's house, the father, the wrong smile, the locked door. What almost happened, what didn't, because my own father had come home early.
Oh my God.
My best friend lived down the way. The nearest house to mine was a 5-minute walk. He had a pool. We would always play, and back then I didn't think anything of it. His father drying me off with a towel afterwards, taking longer
Uh,
than he should. One summer's day, I had forgotten my swimsuit, so his father walked me home to collect it. My parents were at work, so my house was empty. In my room, he locked my door and sat me on my bed. The smell of cinnamon gum and cigarettes on his breath was overwhelming. I tried to get up, but his grip was too strong. I cried out and my door smashed open.
Oh my God.
The memory hit me like cold water. My dad had found me, trembling. My friend's father hadn't gotten the chance, but he tried. And my dad. He grabbed my friend's father by the neck and yelled at me to wait in the kitchen. I ran. Minutes later, or maybe hours, I don't know how much time had passed, as I stood in the kitchen shaking and staring down the hall to my bedroom door. The sounds coming from inside were loud thuds, crashes, shouts, and screams. My father's voice booming with words he'd never said in front of me. Then silence. My father came into the kitchen covered in blood. He scooped me up in his arms and held me tighter than
Oh
I'd
my
ever been
God.
held and carried me to the car. He had killed him. I didn't know that then, but I understood now. My father took me to live with my aunt that night. No one spoke of it again. Not my father, not my aunt, and not me. I forgot all about that night, and I didn't care to remember. The memory had stayed buried until now. My father had protected me not only from the act, but from the memory too. His passing had loosened whatever kept it sealed, and the event crept back in. His simply being alive had given me the sense of safety that I carried through my life, the happiest life a person could ever ask for. And I knew he had given me a good life, but I didn't realize just how much he had done for me.
Holy shit.
I turned and walked out of the room, leaving him standing there pointing at the stain. I left the house in silence and drove away. I glanced in the rearview mirror. The figure, the man, was no longer beside me, not in the corner of my eye. He was standing at my bedroom window watching me drive away. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows. He was behind me now, where he belonged, in the past.
Holy shit. Fuck, man. Damn. I don't know.
All the things.
All the things.
My heart hurt.
Yeah, that was intense, but so well done
So good. Like my heart hurts because it was
because it was
like
a lot.
speeding, like pounding because I was
Mhm.
nervous,
Yeah.
and then just like happy, sad because
Yeah.
like a dad's
It's a lot.
love.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All the things.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Shane number
One.
1.
Yep.
Yes. And now, thank you Shane number 2 also because the last story that we are reading tonight is from Shane number 2 and it is called The Chase.
What?
The fluorescent lights buzzed faintly, casting sterile pools of light across the fifth level of the deserted car park. Sarah's heels clicked against the concrete, her breath visible in the chilly night air. It was past midnight, and the office had kept her late again. Her car, a lone silver sedan, waited by the far end of the parking lot. She quickened her pace, the silence oppressive, broken only by the distant hum of the city below. Then a sound, sharp, deliberate footsteps echoing behind her.
Nope.
Sarah froze, her heart thudding. She turned, and there he was, a man in a dark jacket, his face obscured by shadow, sprinting toward her.
Pause. Okay.
Like, biggest fear ever.
Yeah, because you can't see their face. Like I feel
Yeah.
like a faceless figure is the scariest thing.
I feel like just a figure like running at you in a parking lot is literally like my nightmare come true.
Ugh. Okay, sorry.
Panic surged. She fumbled for her keys, fingers trembling. She broke into a run. The keys slipped from her grasp, clattering to the ground. No time to stop. His footsteps pounded closer, relentless. Sarah bolted down the ramp to the fourth level, her breath ragged, her screams swallowed by the empty structure. The man was gaining, his shoes slapping the concrete with predatory rhythm. She tore through the fourth level, dodging parked cars, and descended to the third. The air grew colder, the lights dimmer, flickering as if struggling to stay alive. Her legs burned, but she pushed on, driven by the primal instinct to escape. Level 2, so close to the ground floor, to the street where someone, anyone might hear her. Her foot caught on a crack and she stumbled, crashing to her knees.
Ugh.
Pain shot through her palms as she hit the ground. The man was almost upon her. She curled into herself, arms shielding her head, bracing for the inevitable. But he didn't stop. His footsteps thundered past, and Sarah glimpsed his face, pale, eyes wide with terror, not malice. He wasn't chasing her, he was fleeing. Confusion gripped her as she turned her head, her gaze darting to the darkness behind. Something moved, a shape, indistinct but wrong, its edges blurring like smoke. It was fast, too fast, and it was coming for her. A coldness enveloped her, not like a winter's bite, but something deeper, as if her very soul were being siphoned away. She staggered, her vision swimming, and looked up from the ground. Her heart stopped. There, ahead, was herself, running, screaming, chasing the man in the dark jacket down the ramp to the first level. Her own face, twisted in fear, mirrored the man's as they fled together. The cold tightened its grip, and Sarah felt herself unraveling, her thoughts fraying like thread. She tried to scream, but no sound came. The thing behind her wasn't chasing anymore. It was inside her, wearing her skin, running in her place. As her vision faded, the last thing she saw was her own body disappearing into the dark, leaving only the echo of footsteps in the endless car park.
She's been snatched.
She's been skin snatched.
Ugh.
Skin suit. Always a skin suit, man.
Okay.
So that one, it's a little bit shorter, you'll
Mhm.
notice. It's because he was, I don't remember how many characters he said, but he was like
A writing challenge.
challenging. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word. He was challenging himself to write something that like was gripping and scary
And intense.
in like 1,000 characters or less or something like that,
Oh,
or like
dang.
500 characters or less or something
Well,
like that.
I give
So
you like super kudos for that.
yeah, so
because
A+, man.
because let me just tell you, I do not run. I just don't. I don't like nope, exercise not my thing, but that makes me feel like I need to go running. Like to step up my stamina
Right.
and endurance or something.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Oh
that's
my
all we got for
God, that's all we
today.
got for today. All right. Well, it was lots of fun. I had
Yeah.
fun. Did you have
I
fun?
had so much fun.
Let's see how many times we can use the word fun.
Well, now that I know for sure I have all my teeth, we're good.
Right. Oh my God. I will never get over that. I'm sorry. That was painful for you, and I apologize, but it was hilarious.
I could only imagine. Well, we really appreciate y'all staying around this long to hear our giggles at the end.
Right? Yeah. And we will talk to you next week.
Yep. If y'all have any like
Feedback?
we'd love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Either comment on our show. I don't know how that
Or
works.
well, no, just send us a email or
Yeah.
a message on any of the platforms. I'll check the messages. So
Yay.
just send us a message if you have anything that like really drives you crazy or something.
Yeah, we want to know.
And yeah, we will talk to you next week.
All right.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.